Namaste Krishna Rao garu. Welcome to IYRTalks English edition. In this edition, we try to discuss about a very sensitive issue concerning funding for elections by America. So recently, President Trump, after taking his role, he has evolved government of efficiency, Department of Efficiency under Elon Musk's leadership, and then they try to curtail lot of expenses of aid given to various countries, and in the process about $21 million dollars supposed to be given to the India for voter turnout has been cancelled, stopped, and it might be for voter turnout, or it would have gone for other social cause also, but overall the aid has been stopped. So the Department of Government Efficiency, they said it's a very big corrupt practice and all that, but now what in this discussion we want to just discuss is about the intention behind America in trying to destabilize the previous regime, the regime that is there in power, because in the earlier our discussions also we tried to just have little focus on how George Soros has funded various agencies in trying to propagate either farmers agitation or otherwise. There is also a nexus between the Delhi former chief minister and his funding and all that. So I think the foreign money played a very important role in destabilizing the leaderships and governments in various countries, not only in India. You talk about Bangladesh and various other regimes in the previous thing. So what do you think? At least now the Indian government should thoroughly examine and see from where the funds have come, when they have come, to which institution they have come, and to which cause they have spent the money and all that. These things are very, very important. But because the political will is very strong and the leadership is strong, now no damage could be, a part of damage would have done in terms of the government getting a less number of seats, but definitely I think a thorough examination need to be done by the government to see who is the culprit. Can you just elucidate on this particular topic?
Yeah, this is not the first time that America has done something like this. America has been meddling with regimes whom they did not consider favorable to them right from the time after the World War II. After the World War II, America thought it is its bounden duty to contain communism, which was spreading into mostly in the Asian continent. And to contain that, they were willing to go for a war in Vietnam. They fought a war for a long, long time to contain the spread of communism. When the then Indonesian president, I think his name was Sukarno, when he was thought to be favorable to Russia and communism, they dethroned him and put a military leader, Sukarno, who was horribly corrupt and who ruled for almost 30-40 years Indonesia. And then Chile, that's a Latin American country, there was regular elections, democratically elected communist leader, Allende, he became the Prime Minister or President of Chile. They, from background, CIA and others, staged a coup there, the military took over and jailed the people who actually got elected democratically, all in the name of containing communism. That phase was there till about 60s, 70s. But once that was over, then what has become more important for them is their strategic interests. Especially after the 90s, once the Soviet Union collapsed. Now they started looking at regimes with reference to their strategic interests. With reference to their strategic interests, when they found Iraq, Libya were not supporting them, they did not mind going up to military intervention there to change the regime. But in places like India, I mean, there used to be, in those days, Mrs. Gandhi used to regularly say the threat is from CIA. And in those days, as students, we used to think it was a funny thing, but in retrospect, it looks to be a serious one even in those days. I think there was an effort even to change her at that time, but they failed. Failed in India because the institutions are strong and leaders were also strong. Both these things ensured that they don't have a say as far as India is concerned. And they were very successful recently in Bangladesh. Bangladesh regime change, America had this definitely there. And one of the way they are trying to do is use this USAID. USAID, you use that funding to promote some NGOs, promote some social activists, and ensure that there's an unrest in the country, then give it a worldwide publicity, and then through different channels try to for a change in the regime. Trump himself says this amount, that 21 million which has come, was meant for regime change in India. What more you want? It's the President of America who is making this statement. But one thing is, when these funds come, they do come through a lot of scrutiny from Government of India. The NGOs who are receiving them need the FCRA registration. And the money will come to the finance department, the home ministry will have to okay it, only then it comes. If these were institutions which were trying to work for a regime change in the country, how did the government allow these funds to flow to those institutions? That also needs to be examined. Were there some coverts working there in favor of these institutions? Or it was just a total carelessness on the part of the government, because these funds did not flow straight from there to here without the intervention of the Government of India. It did come through the Government of India through a very proper checking. Even after that, if it was meant for such a cause, it's a serious matter. I think Government of India, now that the whole thing is made open, actually, yes, it came out of an exercise by Elon Musk for pruning down the government spending. But more importantly, this is not a big amount with reference to his pruning. But more importantly, what are the ulterior motives that they are trying to achieve through this is a very, very important thing. High time now, Government of India should have a thorough inquiry into this whole thing, including those who are responsible for clearing these NGOs, for receiving these funds, both in the Ministry of Home as well as in Finance. That should be the utmost priority of Government of India today.
I hope the government will unravel the persons involved or institutions involved in this whole episode. Thank you.